Hi everybody, welcome to this month's top tip. We hope you've had a good month. This month we want to focus on those times, and it may or may not have been something you've experienced. I know I have earlier on in my career, when you get to that point and you're asking questions with someone, and for whatever reason you kind of get to that point where you think, I think I might be running out of questions, and you check the time and you realize you're kind of maybe 25 minutes into a session, or you just feel like there's an opportunity to ask more, but I'm just not sure where to go with this. And I think that's something that happens to quite a few of us. So we're going to cover that this month. Okay, so when you come across these scenarios, one of the things that I find really useful when it comes to kind of gathering that depth of detail and extending those sessions a little bit longer, getting a little bit more out of that person you're talking to, is just to start thinking about time a little bit differently. So we often think about time as in a series of moments, and I think we fall into this trap of when we say to someone, okay, what are your best hopes from our talking? And someone might say, you know what, I want to feel more confident, more able. I want to be able to live my life in a way that's good for me. Okay, and if we ask them, then imagine you wake up tomorrow and you're doing exactly that. You're living your life in a way that is right for you. What's the first thing you'd notice? And often what we see and hear from people is this jump from you first waking up, say, when that alarm goes off, what time might that be, to then you're out the door and ready for work. So change that sequence of time into a longer extended series of smaller moments. So think about how much happens from that point in which you wake up, turn that alarm off, and even get to the bathroom in the morning to brush your teeth. Like the amount of things you have to wake up, you have to open your eyes, you have to get out of bed, all of those things. So all of those things are opportunities to notice a difference in the way someone is doing something. And if there's someone else next to them, again, that's an opportunity to ask even more detail. So it's about slowing these things down. These points in time they last a lot longer than we think they do. And we can make them last a lot longer by asking kind of slower, more detailed questions in our work. Okay, and so the invitation this month, there are two parts to it. So the first part, I want you to think back to the last session or conversation that you had with someone. And I want you to think about how you were able to stretch out time when you were asking your questions and getting that description. So what were those moments in that session, where you kind of maybe talked about a before part of a moment? Say if it was somebody who, was seeing their boss or seeing a spouse, and things were more in line with how they wanted to live their life, in line with their best hopes. What was it, that happened before that bit, during that interaction, and after that interaction? Maybe you did something like that. What else did you do? How did you do it? What were those questions that you asked that really helped you stretch out time? So that's the first part. The second part of the invitation is to challenge yourself in your next conversation. So the next conversation you have, think about how you would want that to be. Think about opportunities and where you might stretch that time a little bit more. And then when you're in that conversation, push yourself to ask a couple more questions. Try 2 or 3 more to really stretch out a moment in time, and then see what it leads to. So those are a few things to think about. Don't forget to download the activity as well. There'll be some other things to think about in there. And yeah, we hope you guys have a good month, and we'll see you again soon.